The gap between beginners and experts, it's not talent, it's not luck, it's not some secret strategy. It's these 6 specific tricks that make all the difference. But before we get to these 6 tricks, here's what happens to most beginners. They follow Google's setup guide, they pick good keywords, they write decent ad copy, and they launch, and then the reality hits. The ads get clicks, but they don't actually get conversions. Or the cost per acquisition is just way too high. And after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, they might be breaking even, or more likely, they're probably losing money. And meanwhile, you have competitors in the same industry that actually have made Google Ads work. If your ads aren't profitable, you're not alone, and you're not bad at marketing. You just don't know what the experts know. It took me 10 years to figure out these 6 tricks, and you're going to learn all of these in the next couple minutes. Now, the first one is the fact that Google's main goal and your goals as a business are actually extremely different. They're actually opposing. The only thing that Google cares about is for you to spend more money. They actually don't care if you actually make any money. They do this by using psychological fear tactics within their user interface with limited by budget and recommendations. But the first trick that Google ad experts know is that you need to question every single recommendation that Google gives you. Now, Google doesn't actually work for every single business. And if your business isn't proven, then your ads actually won't be able to fix a broken business. The trick is you need to see if a competitor is actually advertising on Google. If they are, it's more likely that you have an opportunity to succeed on Google. But if you have no competitors, it's more likely that it's going to be harder for you to succeed. A quick way to kind of check that is to just do Google searches and also look in the keyword planner and just start typing in what your customers would actually be searching for. Now, this one might actually be a little bit more controversial, but the Google Ads auction is rigged. And I actually did a whole complete video on this and the fact that Google favors smart bidding. And so the older bidding strategies like manual CPC and maximize clicks is actually not working as well as they used to because Google is just giving the conversions to the smart bidding strategies. And so the trick that Google ad experts use is actually to use at the top of the funnel, the older bidding strategies and force the right clicks, the right search terms in those. And at the bottom of the funnel, starting to use smart bidding, which is basically like retargeting and who Google actually knows will already convert. Now, so many businesses actually end up struggling with spam leads. So the trick here is to only send qualified leads back to Google Ads. So it's kind of like trash in, trash out. What you need to do is essentially give Google good data and ensure that you're only giving Google qualified lead or sales data. Now, this 5th one has been super life-changing for me personally because it actually changes the way that you leverage Google Ads. Google Ads used to be about targeting what people type into Google search, but now it's targeting the user's intent behind the search. So Google is actually literally stalking users across the internet by leveraging millions of data points that they have on that person. And they are basically just trying to use the algorithm to predict if that person is going to convert on the action that you have set in your campaigns. So what Google ad experts know here is that you can leverage smart bidding only if Google actually understands your customer. Now, before we move on to our final trick, I actually have 5 secrets that even top Google ad experts don't even know. So if you want to be in the top 1% of Google ad experts in the world, then stick with me. The 6th trick here is the fact that Google can report conversions that you would have already gotten. I actually did a whole video on this and how I basically saved a business over $100,000 by basically saying, stop spending in these campaigns and start spending in these. Check it out in the link below. My dog is actually waiting for my family to come home. It's hilarious. Hello, Barkley. Say hello. Now, before we move to the 4 secrets, let me know in the comments which one of these tricks resonate with you, are most valuable, or what is actually still confusing, and I will answer any question that you have. Now, the first secret that even top Google ad experts don't even know, if you have a failing campaign, what you're gonna wanna do first is actually go ahead and check the conversion tracking. Most people overlook this and wonder why, and they change bidding strategies and keywords. but it's actually the conversion tracking that is driving the smart bidding. The second secret is that most advertisers and businesses are leaving brand searches in their campaigns, and this is killing their results. They continue to increase spend, and what Google ends up doing is actually increasing the CPCs. And then businesses are ultimately left with, why can I not grow and scale? And it's ultimately because Google is going to continue to increase the CPCs on your brand searches if you don't exclude them. The third secret is actually checking this metric called repeat rate. A lot of people skip this and don't realize that they're actually double or triple counting conversions, and so they wonder why they can't actually scale. You're going to want to check your repeat rate by just going into your Google Ads dashboard, going into the conversion actions section, and going to view all conversions. Right there, you can go ahead and check your repeat rate and just make sure that it's between 1 and 1.3 is typically okay. But anything over that, you're getting into the area of double counting, which is going to throw off smart bidding and continue to target people over and over again, and so you won't be able to scale out of that. The fourth secret that so many people skip is this thing called conversion delay. It's basically the time between the click and the conversion, or the impression and the conversion. Experts know that you have to basically wait a certain amount of time before making decisions on optimizing your campaigns. So what can happen is that a lot of people, after they make a change, they can make a panic decision based on totally not understanding how long it takes for people to convert. So a lot of people don't know when to use which bidding strategy, how many keywords, whether you should use broad, phrase, or exact match. This is a guide to completely answer all of your questions. Check it out.